permission to do a silly dance while I read out the poem. You said that. Is that okay?
How's the microphone working?
Oh, there's a microphone. I didn't realize we're using microphones. Oh, there we go. Can everybody in? Okay, I'm gonna. Is it alright if I do the silly dance? Okay. So, this poem doesn't appear to have a title. Oh, those books in which she bathes. Books and books like soap and lavender. She bathes in Pan's pool that murmurs with the cadence of his pipes and emerges with her sex a water lily. This is the next one. She brings light into the room like a one ancient princess. Her hands like flowers, prayerful with hope, busy with work. Thank you.
Robert Leslie. Please welcome Brandon Perdomo and John Fox.
I'm Brandon Perdomo. I will also be filling in for John Fox. It's too dark. This is one. Like rockets' red glare in the distance, the fireworks boom in the distance, like she in the deep, humid distance, with her diaphanous dress in the distance, her heart booms and booms and booms. The fireworks crackle in the distance over the red, white, and blue bikini of the island. That was one. Now I'm John Fox. The booms of the fireworks are God's voices, the sound that wakes you with a crash, or roar, or bird's call. The spots of light shining on the wall of night are the God's eyes. When I grabbed my own hand, it was someone else's fingers that grabbed mine. Who were they? The fingers of the gods, like some strange orchid. The ladybug's God is a ladybug. The giant one out there on the horizon. The dogs recognize their God by the bark.
Steve Stavola.
Yeah!
Yeah.
I was afraid of the wind and the storm, like all of those primitive tribes are afraid. Afraid like the guests in the mansions on moors, on New England farms with their ghosts of the pines. Afraid like the artists in garrets on shores. I was afraid that the wind soul was mine. I was afraid of the black spirit bird that I saw perched beside the door. But I found it was merely the thought of myself, my eye, that reflected the void. And this is your pet name. I just thought of your pet name. It entered my mind in the dread, silent white of the walls. It came inexorably, like everything flows to the sea. The brackish harbor flowing through the room, down to the sea. I don't know why your name came to me like a message, an epiphany. I found that I had absent-mindedly picked up the cat statue that I got at the church sale where I saw you. That might have been your perfect statue for you, cat goddess, but it remains here with me. If you keep looking for things that remind, you'll find a million of them, like gnats along the trail. But among so many other travelers to the sea, it was you who I thought of today, in the vicinity of your house, as I always do, wondering how I don't ever see you. I'm glad that I don't. But part of me imagines that I'll meet you down at the shore at some point anyway.
Please welcome Elizabeth Watson.
If you were a Dutch young lady from a century or two ago, sitting on the beach in your wicker throne, looking out at the ships and the twinkling blue and blue and blue and silvery white crisp caps, sun sparkling on life's horizon, a Dutch young lady amid prim roses and the medieval clocks and proper churches, but you yourself a church, on your throne with blood-red lips, your fingers pinning any heart you want upon your sleeve.
Matt Fry.
Brown braids and thighs. Brown braids and thighs and blue aster eyes like a green bug. She buzzed in the room. She breezed into town with her brown strangers to frowns, her face aglow, piercing the groom. Brown braids and thighs, brown braids and thighs. I never saw a prettier sight. But I didn't stare, 'cause she wouldn't have cared, though I could stare at her all night. She was prettier by far of the girls who flaunted their figures so awkward. Them with the curls were mere shadows of girls, but brown braids and thighs was the earth's daughter. Brown braids and thighs, brown braids and thighs. I never saw a prettier sight, but I don't stare, 'cause she wouldn't have cared, though I could stare at her all night.
Yay! Next reader is Rebecca Florence.
I know. I cannot find what I know, never in the books I search. Not in the small, sweet smell of your fresh, nor in the call of the morning birds sitting over, watching over everything. In eggs I do not know. Eggs that only remind me of your perfect girl eyeballs, the cells that make up your arms and elbows, legs and knees, your Christmas Carol cheeks. Your hips flatten me to sting me like a jellyfish. All of you. Your body is a treatise on what I know. The maelstrom of your braid swirls me to the tom-toms and pom-poms of your gender. But I still don't know what I know. Not in military history, in personal mystery, not in knowing what I do, what not to do, and the details of art and craft. I don't know much. Fate! The very trees cry, fate! What is happening to you that is happening, and yet not happening to me and not happening? What do I know? Clinking glasses and toasting? To what? What do we know? If I am dismissive of all answers and sense and sensibility piled up forever and seeming higher in the warehouse of life than evolution's reefs, straggling trees on newly emerged mountains, horned, cyclopean animals of forgotten worlds, forgotten men of the dusk, men of the dust. In woman I find what I know. We all know that. Found at the delicate fingertips of your ringed fascist hand, found at your clit. Girl, what do I know? Books on every subject tell me so. Girl, name the price in the bank of the stars. I return to the sweet smell of the flesh of your cold leg. Return to the lantern lights of the night that mark you. Your flesh resounding like trombones of thigh and hip and ass lit up in brightest corner of the universe. Such universe as we can make small as a poem, to put you in, be your mirror. A vanity for the feminine, for a queen's knees, ankles riveted, carpentry perfectly jigged, turned like the perfect bowl, the finest fowl. What do I know? I know you. You're coming over and over again, and lying so handsomely in the wild blossoms like some great extinct animal glimpsed only once. Girl in tangled grass, legs and ass, fuck, fuck, tangled little hairs. I dreamed of you in the morning, that is what I know. No longer can I know from books. What I see in eye, what sense in time, what magnetizes me and girds your girdle too. Girl, what? What? I know you. The founding fathers knew. You. Eureka! Poe knew. What the horses neigh and the whinny knew too. What's in the museum aisles, the city's miles, knew. Clams siphoning the salt sea just like you. That's what I know. I know you. The answer is in O'Keefe print. The book of Pearl S. Bucks and Dorothy's Adventures in Luck. We know. Fuck. Dorothy's Adventures in fuck. And coming over the snow, in its shadows and light shades, in the undulations of the primeval snow, frozen in time on the grave, girl, I shadow you. Me and the wheeling birds shadow you in coming December, the coming snow.
Please welcome back to the stage, Brendan Perdomo.
John Fox will be starring as John Fox. No, come here.
Here?
Yes, come on stage.
Oh, no. Bernard told me to tell you that I won't be with you.
Okay,
Yeah.
I'll be starring as John Fox. This one's called Sandy. Tired of listening to the forecasts, we wait for the storm to hit. It brings us together. Weather's the only thing that makes us tribal now. The boys are playing football in the street as Catholic bells play their age-old melody, shelter from the storm. We're ready for our snacks, our booze. New leaves blow down and the dogs run wild, and time to come inside now. Somewhere, the Rhine maidens bare their breasts to the wind. Let out a howl! Sandy too. The storm has not yet come, but when she does, she will come on long, lovely legs. She will arrive out of a 1960s magazine wearing a short skirt. She will take off her yellow raincoat, revealing her breasts as daisies, flower power. The storm has not yet come, but when she does, she will come on my face and fuck me full force.
And now please welcome John Fox.
Hey, everyone. This poem is called Love Fugue. Clear glass of vodka, she sips you at evening. She sips you at morning and midday. She sips and she sips. I lay out the bills, take care of the tab, so I don't have to worry about debt, she says. She says she can't miss her regimen. The cream prevents aging, preserves her rare beauty, so she won't become bitter like the cold air in Russia. Your emerald eyes, Julissa. She steps outside for some air, she says. She says, back in 5 minutes. I nod. I order another to please her. I lay out the bills so I don't have to worry about debt. The others are dancing and laughing with love. I think that this love is a liquid from Russia. Your emerald eyes, Julissa. Clear glass of vodka. She sips you at evening. She sips you at morning and midday. She sips and she sips. A guy works at the bar. He flirts with her lips. She says, buy me another, you man, you. With your money in winter, it's handy. When it grows cold and dark over Russia, I lay out the bills. I make conversation. I ask, do you smoke? I have got great tobacco. She says no, she stopped smoking. It's bad for the skin, so she won't have to worry at 40 about wrinkles. Clear glass of vodka, I sip you at evening. I sip you at morning and midday. I sip and I sip. She plays with her hair. She says, I feel like dancing, so one more drink and let's go, she says. She says, tip that guy better, you man, you. With your money in winter, she steps out for air. She says, back in 5 minutes. A guy works at the bar. He pours the white poison. He asks, neat or on rocks? I nod at the second. Those rocks, they are grinning. As I lay out the bills, I order the chaser, cranberry to please her, so I don't have to worry about love. The rocks laugh that this love is a liquid from Russia. Your emerald eyes, Julissa. The bump on your nose, Evelyn. Clear glass of vodka. I sip you at evening. I sip you at midday and morning. I sip and I sip. I look up outside. She plays with her hair and puffs the clear smoke. I stare through the glass. I'm too puzzled to worry. Her breath paints the air. I lay out the bills. The bartender watches. His eyes are so blue. They laugh at my love is a liquid from Russia. Your emerald eyes, Julissa. Your lonely eyes, Evelyn.
Next reader is Mallory Pure.
The Old Dresser. The old dresser creaks and groans, telling tales of the scenes it's witnessed, the conversations heard. It thunders like a bull, speaking biblically, proclaims things in a Sanskrit that we cannot know. The old dresser is a portal to the other world where angels and demons of dreams sit up in its empty drawers and hang above the windows of the room. What lingerie, what winter clothes, what secret books, what money saved, what jewelry and keepsakes has that keyhole hid? Its new owner runs her hand along the polished wood and contemplates the placement of perfume, makeup, and a brush.
Please welcome Jesse Statman.
Mallory is shorter than me.
Inside of her lavender panties is vagina. And inside of her vagina is gold. Inside of a head of a beast is an eye. And in her eye is a vial of sky. Sail and sail across the world. And in her ears are birds, and in her hands are seeds, and in her chest is the red velvet cake of tomorrow.
And once again, Brandon Perdomo.
Where are my women?
Please also welcome Elizabeth Watson and Mallory Thorpe.
Where says you talk? Where says you talk? Full citation and copyright release or draw diagrams to be incorporated in text. If you need assistance with sketching equipment, Ethne Byrne McGowan will come to the lab and sketch it for you.
Index or inbox. Drawer. Main. New messages. One message placed in her wastebasket.
Hyperbole has no place in an objective description. You need precise language for writing in science.
Lunchbox, welcome, mailbox, orchestra-gasm.
Strongly suggest deleting the stereotypical and sexist novel. For a study on the effect of hormones, try researching Klinefelter's syndrome.
Sing with. Great news. Frantic.
Rework, prose, or delete.
Index of inbox, drawer, main. New messages, one message placed in her wastebasket.
Full citation and copyright release or draw diagrams to be incorporated in text. If you need assistance with sketching equipment, Ethne Byrne McGowan will come to the lab and sketch it for you. That was a poem that Bernard found.
And finally, we'd like to welcome JJ Hayes and Michael Campbell. And I'll do the tip jar for Bernard King Presents. How about a round of applause for everyone who spoke and for Bernard King.
God is by Bernard King. God is to move further into the myth. When Psyche wounds him, Eros flies home to Aphrodite and does not appear again till the end of the myth. God is, after violence, an uneasy quiet. God is foreign-born and basic industry. God is genius that runs in families. God is standing under the window. God is the last principal poet, Paul Fort. God is able to shape the world almost literally according to his own image. God is a heresy abroad today which states that if a little is good, more is better. God is the crystal goblet in which the water is to be held. Crystal is, of course, very fragile and very precious. The human ego may be compared to the crystal goblet. It is a container for some of the vastness of the river of life. If the ego container, like the goblet, is not carefully handled in the beautiful but treacherous river, it can be shattered. God is she, is she, is she. God is she, is she, is she. God is super cute. God is the best way to solve this dilemma. All paradises fail. Each one has a serpent of some kind in it. God is the balance of illusions. What secret charm, long whispering in my ear, allures, attracts, compels, and chains me here? God is in someone's shadow. God put these few things down to help me remind me of a year when love was plentiful as table wine. God meant to compare together the cope of heaven which protects the earth, the cope of the priest king that symbolizes the protection of heaven, the calyx that protects the growing flower, the rainbow repeating the divine promise, the heavy-side layer that keeps off ultraviolet rays and vaults over tombs under the ground from which the flowers have risen. God meant I break out of my body this way, an annoying miracle. God is an ambassador from another world, a world of pretty marigolds, of two shades, which she announces, not knowing what she does other than walk the streets, holding the flowers upright as a torch so early in the morning. God is she, is she, is she, God is she, is she, is she, God is St. Lucy. God is a certain way. One says of a certain statue, how natural it is. It may be because it would seem foolish to praise a living human creature for being natural, but we do praise some, usually children. God is the more brutal manifestations of the presence of the occupying power. God is all imperialism and its enemies have brought forth a ceaseless round of impositions and counter-impositions. God is concrete efforts, plans at becoming self-supporting on the way. God is the amazingly short, 3 or so shock treatments. God is Paul Verlaine. God is the first day of swelter. Gray, wet, warm rain making a slither of the streets. God is a listen and shut up, O ye of little faith. God is a meadow, a baby tiger, and a tiger behind a hedge. God is the keeper of the game. God is madness, never obsolete. God is actually the symptom of our real identity. Pontius Pilate, he cried, the gods be praised who have permitted me to see you once again. God is she, is she, is she. God is she, is she, is she. God is Yeti. God is the priest and the Levite. God is a narrow veil between the cold and barren peaks of 2 eternities. God is the theory of knowledge which the poet thus expounded in the greatest and ripest of his writings. God is not Sigmund Freud. God is not Santa Claus. God is Leo Tolstoy. God is the godhood of another person, the magnificent transpersonal dimensions he incorporates. God is free of attachment and aversion. God is humility, devotion, surrender. God declares that the thought-free, notionless state is the best. It is infinitely superior to the sovereignty of the world. God is unchanging, impartial, unagitated. God is honey, cereal, soy, tahini, pepper, paprika, flour. God is forever at rest. God is she, is she, is she. God is she, is she, is she. God is Sylvia Plath. God is an invitation from Circe to take a part of her bed. God is dancing constellations within her head. God is her scattered atoms across the vault of a heaven's summer sky. God is visions through Scooter's clouded cataract eye. God is space-age children wandering like lost orphans. God is green tea. God is that curious thing standing in front of the caterpillar called a hookah. God, at last, was put to the right questions. The fire of God is on the New York subway system. God is on the Uptown #1 train and also the Uptown B train. God is on the 7 train at Grand Central. God is also on the 3 train headed uptown for Times Square. God is a God of war. Bring it on. God is waiting for you. God is she, is she, is she. God is you, is you, is you.
Bernard King presents. I'm going to run with the tip jar now, guys. I did not want to interrupt the final performance, so